The Prime Minister is set to announce a suite of infrastructure funding pledges at the Herald Sun, Victorian Chamber of Commerce and Industry Conference Future Victoria. He's saving the big reveal for the high-powered and highly attended event from state and business leaders. For more, let's go to Victoria political reporter Simon Love. Simon, what's expected to happen at Crown Melbourne today?
Well, if anything, we're answering the question from Trudy where the Prime Minister's going next. He's coming here to Crown Melbourne on Melbourne's South Bank to, we expect, make some big announcements when it comes to infrastructure funding, particularly for the airport railing project and the Sunshine Station, and as well local roads. So the PM, as Trudy mentioned, out this morning in Melbourne's northwestern suburbs. That's an outer suburban growth area, and there's no doubt going to be a lot of focus at this conference about the future of Victoria and the future of those sorts of areas, but no doubt with the big emphasis from the state government on planning, particularly closer to the CBD, there'll be a bit of push and pull ideas on that too. So here was the Prime Minister when asked about infrastructure, when asked too particularly about the suburban rail loop, whether the state has really been trying to lobby the feds for funding on that.
Is Victoria getting its fair share of infrastructure spending, which is precisely what I promised to do. When we left office, I was the infrastructure minister, as well as a few other jobs. Victoria has been, was left abandoned by the federal government.
Joining me here at the venue is Paul Guerra, the Chief Executive of the Victorian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Paul, thanks very much for your time. So you're co-hosting this event with the Herald Sun. What do you think the key focus will be from the high-powered business leaders here in this room?
Yeah, good morning, Simon. Great to be here. It's a packed house, sellout, to have the Prime Minister here, to have our Premier here and have the Opposition Leader here. Talks about the importance of this event for all of Victoria. The Herald Sun, through News Limited, bring this together every year, and we partner with them each year. And today, I think is critical in the timing of what will be an election in the near future to talk about what Victoria needs.
Do you think infrastructure will be the key buzzword out of the PM's speech today, Paul?
I think we'll certainly get a flavour of that. I think we'll hear about infrastructure in terms of roads and rail, but I think we'll hear our community talk about sports and entertainment, innovation and connectivity, as well as that whole community piece as well. So I think it's going to be a really good interaction. Sam Weir, the editor of the Herald Sun, will be interviewing the PM on stage, and then we'll hear from a variety of panels. So I think we'll be full of ideas. I think there'll be innovation that will come out of this, and I think there's a way forward for Victoria.
And I think you're moderating the Q&A part of it too. You're going to try and get an election date out of him, Paul?
I reckon we might try. I'd be disappointed if we leave here today without an election day. Look, I think it's significant, though, that the PM is in Victoria prior to the election being announced. I think it's the first time in many, many years that Victoria will matter in the federal election. I think that's a good thing for our state.
Bit of a get the PM, the Victorian Premier and the Victorian Opposition Leader in a room. That doesn't happen often, does it?
Doesn't happen often. Might be an election nearby, Simon.
I think so. Paul Guerra, thanks very much for your time. We
Pleasure.
Look forward to the event. Of course, we'll be here throughout the afternoon. Kieran is also here too. He'll be hosting proceedings, and they'll be getting underway in just under an hour's time.
Talk to you soon. Thanks so much for that, Simon. And keep watching Sky News today to see the Prime Minister deliver a keynote address at Future Victoria in Melbourne. We'll have his speech and Q&A live here on Sky News from 12:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And you can watch the whole thing from 12 p.m. on Sky News Election Channel 603.